Name's Dave Matheny. I'm the owner, Silencer Shop.
For the people who don't know, what is a silencer or suppressor?
A suppressor is just like the muffler on your car. In fact, the first car mufflers were actually firearm silencers that had been attached to cars to make them quieter. Now, the technology in car mufflers has moved on, partially because they're not so heavily regulated. But essentially, all it is taking the expanding gases that create the blast out of the end of the muzzle and allowing them to expand in expansion chambers and essentially lessen the sound. The silencers they're not silent, right? In fact, in a lot of cases, what you're really shooting for is hearing safe. And I've read a lot, like on that Wall Street Journal article, there were people who would comment, that's horrible to have a silencer because I want to hear you coming if you're shooting at me. And that what they don't realize, even in that article, it mentioned like on an AR-15 with a top-of-the-line suppressor, you're quieting the gun down to the level of a jackhammer. Now these are your typical AR-15 suppressors, 5.56 millimeter on this left-hand side or your right-hand side of the case. These are all going to be quick attach, so they'll just quick attach onto an AR-15.
Do you think all this new regulation is necessary?
Oh, not at all. Basically, what you're talking about with suppressors in general, it probably is the most highly regulated item in the firearms market already. And when you consider that it's really nothing more than a safety device, it's the regulation that's already there could be considered to be kind of ridiculous. This is a 338 Lapua. It's a Desert Tactical. This gun is so loud without a silencer that it literally goes off the top level of our sound meter, which maxes out around 175, 180 decibels. With that suppressor, it's hearing safe and quieter than a 22.
Quieter than a 22?
Quieter than a 22, by a lot.
Explain to us the difference between having a Class 3 license or the trust that you do.
Well, a Class 3 license is a license to sell silencers. So, for example, we would have a Class 3 license. We sell a lot of silencers. When you purchase a suppressor, there are 3 ways to register it. The most restrictive way to register is as an individual. Because if you register as an individual, it really is tied to you as a person. So let's say you buy one as an individual, your wife uses it on a home defense gun when you're not home, that's a felony. So what a lot of people do in order to deal with situations like that is to use a trust. So you set up a trust, really simple thing to set up. You add your family members to it, and then anybody who's listed in the trust as a trustee can have independent possession. What they're talking about the gun trust loophole. They fill out all the paperwork that goes directly to the ATF and sits there for 7 to 8 months before it gets approved. I don't know if it's just me, but to me that is not what criminals do.
Is the Second Amendment absolute?
I believe so, yeah. I think there are good reasons to have that in place.
So what would you say to the people, they see these shootings and they say, this has got to stop. We see so many shootings and the children and all these things. Well, why would we not want more gun regulations?
Everybody agrees these are tragedies, but even putting aside that they're blown out of proportion to a lot of extent, increasing the level of gun legislation is going to make no difference to this. You look at the recent shooting that just happened, last week or the week before, that was done with a pump shotgun. And it's funny because a couple months before that, Joe Biden was standing there saying everybody should own one.
As I told my wife, I said, Jill, if there's ever a problem, just walk out on the balcony here or walk out, put that double-barrel shotgun and fire 2 blasts outside the house.
What they're trying to do really is ban firearms in general. Whatever tragedy happens to happen, they're going to use it for political purposes.
We take this business of waking people up very seriously here at InfoWars. That's why we have such a huge outreach operation, and it wouldn't be possible without the InfoWars magazine. And we have a very special October edition for you. We're gonna make it super easy for you to get interactive with your friends and family by giving you these lovely cutout masks, not 1, but 2 very scary educational tools for you to hit the street.
Join with the collective. Just go to sleep, and when you awaken, there'll be no more free will. And whatever you do, don't get a copy of October's special Infowars.com magazine. Whatever you do, don't resist. Give in.
260,000 of you could be out there as Obamacare or Prozac, the killer clown.
Hi, kids! It's me, your favorite selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor!
Just cut along the dotted lines, Cut some holes for the eyes and attach a few rubber bands, and you are ready to wake up America this Halloween.
Remember, kids, Obamacare is for you and your family, and so is Prozac and Ritalin. So whatever you do, don't secure your copy of InfoWars magazine and resist, because death is good for you.
You can pick up your copy today at the InfoWars store. You can always buy these in bulk at cost, and for a limited time, the annual subscription is just $39.95. Call now because operators are standing by.
Obama will love you.
Because people need to know that Obamacare is bone-chillingly frightening.